You are watching Shalom World News. My name is Rory McLennan and here are your latest news headlines from around the world. The Fellowship of Catholic University Students, or FOCUS, a United States-based Catholic outreach programme for college students, is holding its Seek 21 conference this week. From Thursday, February the 4th to Sunday, February the 7th, the conference is to be broadcast live. When it is permitted, it is intended that live participants are to be divided into groups of 7 to 10 people, observing local COVID-19 protocols. The programme's website that the conference will be, quote, an interactive, immersive event that brings thousands together in small groups to encounter the heart of the gospel and share it with others. Among the event's speakers are Bishop Robert Barron, Father Mike Schmitz and Dr. Scott Hahn, as well as Focus's founders Curtis Martin and Dr. Edward Siri. Some of the conference speakers will travel to different cities in the US during Seek 21 to meet with live audiences. At 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Saturday the 6th of February, there will be a worldwide prayer vigil. The participants will take part in Eucharistic adoration, which will be held simultaneously across the globe. The Fellowship of Catholic University Students was founded in 1998 and is aimed at evangelizing young people in the United States and abroad. Its mission is to, quote, share the hope and joy of the gospel with college and university students, inspiring and equipping them for a lifetime of Christ-centered evangelization, discipleship and friendships in which they lead others to do the same. We are faced with an unprecedented cultural setback characteristic of the absolutization of the autonomy and self-determination of the person. So reads a statement issued by Portugal's Catholic bishops in response to the Portuguese Parliament's voting to approve the legalization of euthanasia in the country. On Friday, January the 29th, the Parliament voted by a margin of 136 to 78 in favour of a bill which will make euthanasia available to Portuguese nationals and residents. 4 parliamentarians abstained on the vote. The bill now requires the approval of President Marcelo Rebelo de Sousa. If approved, Portugal will become the 7th country in the world to legalise euthanasia. As per Portugal's euthanasia bill, people above 18 years of age, unless they are pronounced mentally unfit to make decisions, will be permitted to request assistance in dying if they are terminally ill or suffering from, quote, lasting and unbearable pain. In the statement, the bishops rejected the proposal of euthanasia as a response to illness and suffering. The bishops call for, quote, the protection of life by all means, especially when it is most fragile. They propose access to palliative care as an alternative to euthanasia and assisted suicide. The statement concludes with a call to accompany the sick with love and concern at all stages of life. Protect the personhood of the unborn child. That is the message of the Catholic Archbishop of Sydney, Anthony Fisher, and the Primate of the Greek Orthodox Archdiocese of Australia, Archbishop Makarios, in a letter dated January 29th. This plea comes as a response to the Government of New South Wales consultation process on the exposure draft of the crimes legislation Offences Against Pregnant Women Bill 2020. The bill is intended to prevent crimes against pregnant women and unborn children by increasing the maximum punishment for offences which result in the death of the unborn by at least 3 years. The draft reforms would mean that the name of the lost unborn persons be included on an indictment in the particulars of a criminal charge. However, the bill fails to recognise the unborn child as a person entitled to the legal protections of those already born. In the letter, the bishops state, quote, the campaign for law reform in the area of child destruction law was to recognise that the death of an unborn child is not merely an injury to the mother of the child, but rather the loss of a human life, when whose presence is missed and mourned by those left behind. Urging the government to provide full legal recognition for the unborn, Archbishop Fisher and Archbishop Makarios concluded the letter by calling on the government to, quote, resist the powerful abortion lobby that sees any recognition of the existence of the unborn child as a threat to the unfettered availability of abortion up to birth. Faith is not an invitation to put up with life's difficulties and frustrations. Rather, faith asks us to see these as a time of grace. Those are the words of the new Archbishop of Dublin, Dermot Farrell. The new Archbishop and Primate of Ireland was installed at St Mary's Pro Cathedral in Dublin on Tuesday, February the 2nd, the feast of the Presentation of the Lord, and World Day for Consecrated Life. At the Mass of Thanksgiving, which was attended by the now Emeritus Archbishop of Dublin, Dermot Martin, as well as the Apostolic Nuncio to Ireland, Archbishop Jude Thaddeus Okolo, Archbishop Farrell encouraged the faithful to go forward with Jesus as their companion, irrespective of the challenges posed by the COVID-19 pandemic. During his homily, the newly installed Archbishop addressed the future mission of the Church, noting that the Church is vested with the, quote, formidable task of preparing the way of the Lord for the next generation. The Primate of Ireland concluded his homily by entrusting his episcopal ministry to the motherly care of the Blessed Virgin Mary. Two relics of the recently beatified Blessed Carlo Acutis are in Argentina for the purposes of veneration. Father Sergio Gastón Lorenzo, parish priest of the Basilica of Our Lady of the Pillar of Buenos Aires, welcomed one of the relics on January 20th. Father Sergio and the auxiliary bishop of Buenos Aires and zonal vicar of Belgrano, Msgr Alejandro Giorgi, had requested the relic from the Friends of Carlo Acutis in Italy. The second relic was received by Bishop Emilio Cardarelli, Vicar General of the Archdiocese of Rosario. The relic was processed through various parishes and will be part of the so-called Eucharistic Miracle Show of the Archdiocese, which was inaugurated on December 14th, 2020. Blessed Carlo was born in 1991 and as a teenager grew to use the then new means of the internet to spread devotion to the Holy Eucharist by documenting Eucharistic miracles on a website. He died of leukemia at the age of 15 and was beatified in Assisi on October 10th, 2020. He prayed the Rosary and attended Holy Mass daily from a very young age and stated that the Eucharist was his highway to heaven. Finally, violence against women is a degradation of all humanity. Those are the sentiments of Pope Francis, who has asked the faithful to join him in this month of February in praying for all women who are victims of violence. Speaking in his monthly Pope video, the Holy Father emphasised the importance of listening to the voices of victims of violence, saying, quote, the testimonies of the victims who dare to break their silence are a cry for help that we cannot ignore. We must not look the other way. Concluding his prayer intention for the month, Pope Francis called on everyone to, quote, pray for women who are victims of violence, that they may be protected by society and have their sufferings considered and heeded by all. Every month, the Holy Father releases a video detailing his prayer intention for that month through the Pope's worldwide prayer network. And those are your news headlines for now. We will be back later on this week to bring you more of the latest news from around the world. But for now, from me and from the team, Shalom.